celebrities who were called out for being rude to restaurant staff.
So Hailey Bieber just opened up about how she felt about Julia's TikTok when she rated her 3.5 out of 10.
Zachary Quinto has been banned from a Toronto restaurant, which is claimed that he yelled at staff.
Meghan Markle. When Meghan Markle dines out, it seems like she prefers to let someone else do the talking. And we're not just talking ordering appetizers.
There's no class in some person who goes sit like this, cross your legs like this, use this fork, don't do this. It doesn't happen.
According to maitre d' Michael Keki Azolina, who spilled the tea in his book, Your Table is Ready, Meghan came into Le Cuckoo in NYC with an attitude that was, let's just say, frosty.
You'll often hear people say, well, you're helping women find their voices. And I fundamentally disagree with that.
While she stayed quiet and aloof, her assistant wasn't nearly as subtle. The assistant reportedly threw a full-blown fit over Meghan not getting a private table, dropping the line, "Are you aware she is dating Prince Harry and about to be a duchess?" Okay. No word on whether the table magically appeared, but we're guessing the staff won't forget that royal encounter anytime soon.
See the look on your face? We were the same age, and I went after him.
Kylie Jenner may be a billionaire, but tipping like one? Not exactly. In a viral TikTok video from restaurant worker Julia Carolan, Kylie was given a cringeworthy 210 rating after allegedly tipping just $20 on a $500 order. That's 4%. Not exactly the kind of math we expected from the queen of lip kits and luxury. Fans were understandably shocked. After all, Kylie's probably spent more on a single highlighter palette than that tip. She hasn't responded publicly, but the internet sure didn't miss the moment. Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, is known for her glam and glow. But apparently she's also known for watching the tip jar a little too closely. According to a server memory that's made the rounds online, J-Lo used to adjust the tips Ben Affleck left, especially if she thought he'd been too generous. Yep, you read that right. If Ben tipped what he thought was fair, Jennifer allegedly took it upon herself to edit that amount right back down. Seems like tipping wasn't her love don't cost a thing philosophy after all. Hailey Bieber got herself called out in another now iconic TikTok by Julia Carolan, who recounted her less than sparkling run-ins with the model. She was not nice, Carolan said, rating Hailey a 3.5 out of 10. And while Hailey didn't deny the vibe, she did something that caught fans off guard. She apologized. "I'm so sorry if I ever gave you a bad attitude," Hailey wrote in response. "Hopefully we meet again so I can apologize in person." A rare celeb redemption arc. Could this be growth? Kendall Jenner may be the face of high fashion, but when it comes to treating restaurant staff, well, not so fabulous. Julia Carolan, yes, her again, gave Kendall a 410, noting that while she was a frequent guest, she usually let someone else do the talking, and not in a good way. According to Julia, Kendall rarely spoke directly to staff and came off as cold. Maybe she's shy, or maybe she's just not that into saying thank you with eye contact. James Corden is supposed to be the fun, lovable late-night host we all adore, but at NYC's Balthazar restaurant, he's remembered very differently. Owner Keith McNally famously called Corden the most terrible customer to my Balthazar servers since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. Yikes. McNally didn't hold back, saying James was a tiny cretin of a man and announcing he'd officially 86'd the comedian. Corden later apologized, but by then, the damage and the latte order was already done. Darren Criss. Darren Criss might have played a total heartthrob in Glee, but offstage, a little more chaotic. Waitress Annie Bond described him as that guy, you know, the one who flags down every server within a 5-foot radius, even if he already asked for something. "He wasn't my table," she explained, "but I got flagged down a lot by this guy." She rated him a 310 and said she doesn't like those kinds of people. We're guessing Don't Stop Believin' doesn't apply to good etiquette. Katherine Waterston. You'd expect a star of Fantastic Beasts to be a bit more, well, magical. But actress Katherine Waterston didn't exactly charm the staff during her restaurant visit. According to Annie Bond on TikTok, she acted like the server simply didn't exist. "She just seemed to not want me to exist that day," the server shared. Ouch. The encounter was so icy, she gave Katherine a brutal 110. Looks like not every wizard is enchanting. Jason Priestley. 90s heartthrob Jason Priestley made his name on Beverly Hills 90210, but his tip game, not as iconic. One former server said a group led by Priestley left just $20 on a $600 tab. That's barely over 3%, and the math isn't mathing. While it wasn't clear if Jason personally picked up the bill, he certainly didn't stop it from happening. Maybe next time he swings by the Peach Pit, he'll leave a little more love behind. Rachel Ray. Rachel Ray is all about making meals in 30 minutes or less, but it seems her tipping takes even less time. And not in a good way. One BuzzFeed server recalled being stiffed by the Food Network star, saying, "She was just the worst." Considering her whole brand is built on being relatable and warm, this one stung for fans. If the rumors are true, maybe someone should teach her that 20% is the new black. Laura Dern, you'd think Laura Dern, the elegant star of Jurassic Park and Big Little Lies, would be just as gracious off-screen as she is on. But according to one BuzzFeed server, that wasn't quite the case. When Laura stopped by for a meal, the server described her as kind of entitled. And get this, she left a $9 tip on a $370 bill. That's not just a bad tip, it's a loss for the server who had to pay out of pocket to serve her. Sure, maybe it was just a bad day, but for someone known for playing warm-hearted, noble characters, this kind of real-life behavior is definitely disappointing. Joel McHale, funny guy Joel McHale, known for Community and hosting The Soup, apparently wasn't serving up much charm during one particular restaurant visit. A TikTok user recalled a cringe-worthy interaction when Joel was rude after being asked a totally normal question. "Do you still want your artichoke?" Instead of cracking a joke or giving a polite answer, Joel snapped back with a bad attitude that stuck in the server's memory. For someone who's made a career out of being witty and relatable, he apparently left his good vibes at the door and didn't even take his artichoke with him. Mann and Judd Apatow. Here's one that stings a little more than usual. Mann and Judd Apatow, often seen as Hollywood's sweetest couple, apparently didn't bring the warm fuzzies to the restaurant. TikToker Thiani Bond shared that when she served them in LA, she was excited at first. Who wouldn't be? These two are comedy royalty. But instead of a fun encounter, she said they were surprisingly rude, giving them a flat 1 out of 10 rating. Maybe it was just an off day, but when fans and servers alike are rooting for a good celeb interaction, this one was a real letdown. Brittany Mahomes. She may be married to Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes, but Brittany Mahomes didn't exactly score any points with hotel staff, according to TikToker Jessica O'Connor. Jessica alleged that Brittany, who came in with her posse, sans Patrick, ran up a tab of over $100 and tipped, wait for it, $0. O'Connor chalked it up to a possible mistake, until Brittany reportedly did the same thing over and over during her week-long stay. Multiple staff members apparently confirmed the pattern. No tips and bad vibes. It seems Brittany left more sour memories than sweet ones. Zachary Quinto, aka Spock from Star Trek, and the intense villain from American Horror Story, made headlines for all the wrong reasons after a chaotic visit to a Toronto restaurant. Staff at Manita claimed he was so aggressive that he made the host cry. Yes, cry! According to their Instagram story, he yelled at the team for not immediately seating him, despite texts letting him know his table wasn't ready. They even described him as acting like an entitled child. Other diners were reportedly left shocked by the scene. Zachary may be a great Spock, but his earthling manners, not so stellar. Anna Wintour fashion royalty. Anna Wintour might reign supreme at Vogue, but at NYC's Le Cuckoo, she apparently treated the waitstaff like background extras. In Michael Keki Azalina's tell-all book, the maitre d' did not hold back, describing Anna as absolutely horrid. She would allegedly barge in without a reservation and demand a table, then order a steak so rare that even the kitchen blinked twice. God forbid it wasn't perfect. Servers reportedly got the stare for anything less than steakhouse perfection. Considering she's used to snapping fingers backstage at Fashion Week, maybe she just forgot the dining room isn't her runway. Odell Beckham Jr., NFL star Odell Beckham Jr. may have moves on the field, but when it comes to tipping at the club, he might need a playbook refresher. Love Island USA contestant Jonna Craig shared that Odell frequents her club and doesn't exactly score with the staff. Not a good tipper. she said, plain and simple. While tipping can be a touchy subject, Jana's comment, especially the tone of it, definitely suggested it wasn't a one-time oversight. When you're known for flashy fashion and pricey watches, skipping out on tipping feels like a major fumble. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. Back in 2020, a former server named Farah shared an unforgettable encounter involving Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. While working at Real Food Daily, Farah said she served them brunch and later found herself the subject of a formal complaint. Not for the food or the service, but for having chipped nail polish. According to Farah, Ellen wrote a letter to the owner complaining about the minor detail, even though it didn't affect the meal. Farah nearly lost her job over it. If you've ever wondered how Ellen got that rep for being not so nice behind the scenes, well, here's one more reason. Patti Smith. Legendary rocker Patti Smith may be hailed as the punk poet laureate, but one former New York City restaurateur remembers her as anything but poetic. In Keith McNally's memoir, I Regret Nothing, he spilled about Patti's frequent visits to his old spot 1/5. Patti, her ex, Robert Mapplethorpe, and art curator Sam Wagstaff were regulars, but reportedly not pleasant ones. Keith wrote that Patti was very difficult and once reduced a waitress to tears over, of all things, forgotten bread. Maybe Patti saves her soft side for the stage, but in the dining room, the mood was more punk than polite.